AKAI this week introduced the MPC ONE Plus. And great idea, like it a lot. And the reason why is they need to put the Wi-Fi on there. First of all, it is a standalone device. And I noticed guys are starting to put batteries on this MPC ONE, and they're starting to add some speakers to carry around with them, so they probably don't want to spend the money for a brand new MPC Live 2, and this form factor is probably good for them. And also, it's called AKAI, and so the reason why it's red is Aka, or AKAI, means red in Japanese, all right? And so it fits. Now, having one device that's red is going to deter people from actually sort of buying it, unless you want to like make your own different cover for it to buy one, or people who like red will buy it. And then again, it's easier for them to mass produce easier. It's lighter. It seems like there's more plastic tied to it, and it's apparently lighter than the first MPC ONE. Second of all, there are a lot of used MPCs in the market. There are just too many of them. Like, I can't say there's too many of them, but there are so many MPC ONEs out there that it makes it great for AKAI. Now, it's not bad there are a lot of used ones. No one's throwing them out. They're still being sold to the next guy, right? It's still in the marketplace. Like, there are still MPC 2000 XLs out there that someone always apparently can find one somewhere, which is great, because it allows the name to continue on, and also someone gets a chance to be inside the marketplace of it, and also it's a comparison thing going on. Now, the one color is perfect because they already did black, they did gold, and they did the retro. That's already been done. And also it cuts the cost down to make an MPC ONE. They've added a new app, which is almost like the Juno series, but the new app is good too. It comes free with the new machine. Like that, that's cool too. Brand new update came out. So now we got 2.12.0. It's kind of cool. It's time for new 12 now. So 11 came out about a year ago, around June 23rd, with the release of the MPC Key 61. Next, there's a problem with Ableton Push 3. If you notice on this MPC, it's got Ableton. And it's really cool. It's like Ableton's on there. You can work with the pads to put sequences in and out. This is heading to the area where the Force is at and where Ableton's at. And we do believe this is why the Push was forced out quickly. Now, why say forced out quickly? Look at the Push. The device does not have a logo on the front. A range view is missing. So a range view should be on your device. It's a standalone. Should be on there. The battery time is 2.5 hours. That is ridiculous. If you're sitting around making music, your thought process is going to be pretty long. You're going to lose time. You're going to do some stuff and lose time what you're doing. You're going to be into it, and then you're going to realize, well, it's been 3 hours. I better get something to eat. I better call the kids, or I better bring the dog in, whatever, you know. I better order some pizza. You know, so I'm thinking, like, that's not really good enough for me. Then you can't use all the parameters you can use on the software. So they have to map out everything totally from the original software to be on a standalone. And the standalone should come with the actual best version of Live. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think even being sweet. It should be 11 something, because I like the expressive nature of it. That can improve, but it should come out with the best thing on there. Jack the price up to include that on there as well, so that you're selling also this with the software, and no one's going to say, I don't like that at all, right? Because you can see the MPC, what's the MPC X SE, has everything on it. The software's on there, but that price is $2,500 because it includes the software and other free stuff that comes with it. And you should have free stuff come with it. You shouldn't have to go online and have to download stuff. It should be already in. It should be like bragging about it. It's dope. We got everything on there. You can't compete with that. You know, once people see that, they're going like, that's hot. You know, the eyes open up. You're like, wow, that's great. Now, AKAI. Let's talk about AKAI now. When having the MPC ONE have Ableton Live, it forces Ableton to have to respond in some way. It also makes me realize the Force is almost dead, Because once they did this, and you can see how they can make segments in a range view, just like you can do in Ableton Live, the Force is just an experiment to see if they can get everything going. And once this happens, the Force could be dead, or they can even add the same stuff to the Force. But from what I understand, and from what I think is going on, people like small devices. You look what Roland's doing, they're pretty much small devices. And you don't need such a big device. This isn't that big, but it's got these 64 pads tied to it. But you don't need like a whole bunch of devices or a big device to do your thing. And the big thing here too, why AKAI is doing it, and they've got it happening, the MPC Live 2 is the ish. I've got to admit, it's the most creative thing that anybody has made in the last 3 years. No one has sat down and said, you know something, we got to put bi-amp speakers on a device. Most guys just put some speakers here. Okay, we got those speakers. You know, it's cool. It sounds great. When you're putting on bi-amp speakers, you're creating efficiency. We can add more power to the bass, get the highs just right, and it won't require much except for 2 amps. You got 1 amp for the tweeter section of the you got 1 amp for the tweeter section of the speakers, and you have another amp for the bass section of the speakers. And you have another amp for the bass section of the speaker system. So it's kind of cool.